Hey, welcome back everyone to the Corbin Report. So we'll be going over the recap of the play-in tournament, what I learned, and also I know games for the playoffs start today at 12 Central, 10 Pacific, which would make that 1 Eastern. So getting this done a little bit right before, last minute, before it starts. So what I learned during the play-in tournament is Orlando, obviously they easily defeated Atlanta to be the 7th seed, and now they face the Celtics in the first round. Should be a good one. Last year, Orlando did take the Cavs to a 7-game series, and then also the Warriors came back after the Grizzlies had a hot start to take the 7 seed in the West, and they will face the Rockets in the first round. I said who will get ejected first in the Rockets versus Warriors matchup, and also saw this something similar someone else said. So, same mindset. Dylan Brooks and Draymond Green will be facing each other. It's going to be a fun drama there. Then for the 9 versus 10 matchups, the Heat send the Bulls home, and then they played the Hawks and sent them home to take the final 8 spot in the East. And now in the West, going with that 8 spot, the Mavericks bullied the Kings to send them home, which if you think about it, makes sense because they don't really have a point guard. The Mavs do, but Kidd has been starting a small forward, power forward at point guard. They do need a facilitator. They have 2 point guards in Brandon Miller and Spencer Dinwiddie. And they did lose to the Grizzlies, who took the final spot 8 seed in the West and will face the Thunder. It looks like Ja Morant's ankle is fine. It may be a 1 versus 8 matchup, but it's going to feel like a 4 versus 5 matchup. And also, it's the Western Conference, so that just is what it is. They're known for just being tougher than the East, although East has improved a little bit last few years. Got like 3 or 4 teams, not just 2 teams doing pretty well now. And the score of the Dallas-Memphis game in the play-in doesn't show how brutal Memphis was to Dallas. Also, I feel like everyone forgets about Desmond Bane. I think he'll be an X factor in the series. Now on to my predictions for the playoffs. We'll start in the Western Conference, as this is going to be interesting, as West is always fun. We'll start with the Grizzlies, as the 8 seed facing the Thunder. And as I said earlier, this game's going to feel like a 4 versus 5 matchup. Speaking of matchups, these teams match up fairly well, which will make it fun to watch and see what each coach does to combat each other. It's going to be like a chess match here. And then I say Thunder in 7, but will not be surprised if the Grizzlies win. If Ja gets hurt, I'm going to say it's over for Memphis. Also, the Thunder, they average 120.5 points per game, which is 4th in the league, and they allowed their opponents, on average, 107.6 points per game, which is according to NBA.com. All these stats, most of them will be, or all of them, NBA.com. And the Grizzlies, second highest in the league, which I did not know, they averaged 121.7 points per game and allowed 116.9 per game, which is 24th. If the Grizzlies can get off to a hot start, that will help them. But not only that, they're going to have to sustain it. Then the Thunder will be in trouble. Now on to the 4 versus 5 matchup, which I totally forgot about. It's the number 4 seed Nuggets versus the 5 Clippers. This is tough because the Nuggets have a championship recently. And the Clippers are all healthy and looking balanced and dangerous. My dark horse for the Western Conference Finals are the Clippers versus the Rockets. Now staying with the series. The Nuggets were 3rd, averaging 120.8 points per game, but they allowed almost just as many points, ranked 25th, 116.9. The Clippers, they averaged 112.9 points per game, 20th in the league, but points allowed, they were 4th, which is 108.2. So the Nuggets, they can score, but they can't stop their opponents from scoring. While the Clippers, it's the other way around. They can't stop opponents from scoring. Oh, they can stop opponents from scoring, but they can't score. Now, sticking with LA, we got the other LA team in the Lakers as a 3 seed versus the Timberwolves as a 6 seed. And yes, I'm a Lakers fan, and they have home court advantage. But I do think the Wolves will give them trouble. Even if the Lakers manage to win the series, they'll be tired for the next one. The center we have is Jackson Hayes, who seems short, but a quick Google search shows that he's listed at 7 feet and Gobert is 7'1", so this changed my thought process. If Hayes can keep Rudy in check, then the Lakers might have a chance. the Lakers averaged 113.4 points per game, which is 19th. And on defense, they were top 10 in points allowed at 112.2. While the Timberwolves, they were 13th in points scored, 114.3 points per game, and top 5 and average points allowed at 109.3. I wanted to switch my pick to the T-Wolves, but home court advantage will help the Lakers. As you can see, paper and stats have the T-Wolves winning this game. I'd say another 7-game series in Lakers. Now on to the wonderful drama-filled series, or which should be drama-filled, and if it's not, that's going to be the drama there. You got the 2-seeded Rockets versus the 7-seeded Warriors. This one's hard because I want to go with the Warriors because of their recent history, but they're a different team, and the Rockets are scary. I'd say if the Rockets can keep Curry and Butler in check, the Rockets easily. Otherwise, Rockets in 6. Both teams have depth, and Steven Adams can guard Looney while Şengün guards Davis if he plays, or if they start Green, that's a mismatch there. Rockets were 13th in points per game at 114.3, but their defense, they were 6th in points allowed at 109.8. And the Warriors, they averaged 113.8 points per game, 17th in the league, and their defense was pretty strong as well, top 10, just 2 below the Rockets at 8th, allowing 110.5 points per game. And as mentioned plenty of times, this series is going to be good. This will be the series to watch in the first round. Now on to the East Coast. This is going to be a little easier. 2 of the series were pretty easy to pick, and the other 2 I had to do a little thinking, We'll start off with the 1 versus 8 seed. You have the Cleveland Cavaliers facing the Miami Heat. And as much as I like the Heat, the Cavs have showed us how good they can be. I say Cavs in 5, with Miami avoiding the sweep. And the Cavs, they did score the most points this season on average at 121.9, but they did allow a good amount of points, ranked 12th at 112.4, while the Heat were 24th in points per game, with 110.6. Defense, not too bad. They allowed 110, ranked 7th. Now, here's another series that's a little difficult. So these first 2 are difficult. The last 2 were pretty easy for me to pick. The 4-seeded Pacers versus the 5-seeded Bucks. I want to say the Bucks because of Giannis, but they don't have Dame, I think. But if he is coming back, we'll see what happens. I don't know. I forgot if he is playing this series or if he's sitting out or if he's coming back towards the end or what's happening. Even with him, I still think it's going to be close. And the Pacers, they did on average, were 7th in points per game at 117.4, and points allowed were 17th, 115.1. And the Bucks, they were 11th at 115.5 points per game, allowing 113 points, which is 13th. So just number-wise, is another close matchup, and just also with if you think matchup-wise too, also pretty good. You got Lopez and Turner, Siakam, and then Giannis, and then everyone else as well. And then now these next games I feel like easy to win. This next one, the 3-seeded Knicks versus the 6-seeded Pistons. I don't think anyone will agree with me, but that's fine. These are all opinions. I actually, believe it or not, think the Pistons, despite having a lower seed, will win the series and not home court advantage. And they will go on to face the Celtics, which I think they would probably get swept then, and Celtics would easily make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, and you'll hear why in a second. So, yes, the Knicks have the better seed, but the problem is from Tom Thibodeau, the head coach. He doesn't really play his bench, is what I noticed in the regular season, and that's going to hurt them in the playoffs. I have the Pistons winning if they are good as they have been, and if they're all hyped up as they are to be. They can win in 5, but I'm going to go with 6. The Knicks, they were averaged 9th in points per game and allowed points. So they averaged 115.8 and they allowed 111.7. And the Pistons were 12th, scoring 115.5 points per game, and they allowed 113.6, 14th. So another close one in numbers. Now the Celtics versus Magic, defensive-wise, when we get into the stats, it's going to be quite intriguing as to what I found out when I looked it up. I heard the Magic were good on defense from one of the commentators and then saw the stats, and it was actually pretty accurate. Yes, the Magic easily beat Atlanta to take the 7th seed. And then we did see the Hawks struggle with the Heat and then come back and then struggle and get sent home. As I've said before, the Magic only have 2 superstars in Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero. I have the Celtics in 4, and I'd be surprised if Orlando gets 1 game. The Celtics did average 116.3 points per game, which is 8th in the league. And they were tough on defense, ranked the 2nd, only allowing 107.2 points per game on average. And the Magic were ranked 28th in points scored, 105.4. But this is where it's shocking. Yes, the Celtics were 2nd in points allowed, but the Magic were 1st in points allowed. And when I say points allowed and all this, it's they held their opponents to less points. At 105.5, this series should be a defensive battle according to the numbers, but the Celtics are just too much to handle, I think. And after the first round, I'll try to do a second round prediction one. So stay tuned. Follow on all social media accounts: YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You name it. Subscribe to the YouTube channels. Follow me on Facebook page, The Corbin Report. Even Spotify. And if you have any comments or want to hear what I think, comment, message me, and then see if I can do some research and go based off that. And I know hockey playoffs start tomorrow or already started, so I won't get to do predictions on those. I didn't really watch hockey that much this season, but maybe what I'll do is on the Facebook page and Twitter, I'll post my predictions for the first round series of both and go from there. Thank you guys for listening to the Corbin Report.